millions each year, Rainbow Mealworms is your one-stop shop for all your insect needs. Their quality feeders and A-plus customer service keep me coming back to support the health and growth of all of our animals. Visit them today at rainbowmealworms.net to place your order. I want to take this time to shout out Redline Shipping. They are the #1 fastest growing reptile and animal shipping company in the world right now, and that is for good reason. Use promo code GECKO5 today at checkout for an additional $5 off your shipping label.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Geeky Gecko Creations Live. So, as you guys might have saw, we did just recently come back from the Phoenix Reptile Expo, which is one of Arizona's top and largest, most popular expos. So that was a very good time this weekend. There was a lot of people that came by, a lot of our team members that were able to work with us this weekend. So that was super cool. So what's going on, Alyssa, Karis, Bam Bam? I'm actually currently putting away geckos right now. So I have like the displays and stuff right here. I've just been, putting them away and catching up on some reptile tasks all day. And while I'm putting it away, it's a little meticulous. So I was like, let me just do a live. We normally do our lives on Mondays. And that way, at least I can answer some questions or just be present and also allow you guys to talk also. The next expo that we are going to be vending is going to be Pomona, California, which is another gigantic expo on the West Coast. You can see them right here in the top right corner, the Reptile Super Show. That's a fantastic expo, and yeah, that'll be great if you guys are able to make it. So, Yvette, I don't know if anyone else is having issues with the live, but let me know if there's like sound issue or connection issue, and we could kind of work on that. But we are unloading like 100 geckos right now. So maybe I'll show some geckos off and stuff too, as we do that. So what is the issue if you are experiencing an issue? Is it like lag or something like that? Just let me know. All right, so this is 224. This is ID number 224 we're putting away. What do you guys think about like leopard gecko auctions? You know how they do like crested gecko auctions? There's some crested gecko breeders that do auctions. What if we did leopard gecko auctions? Like bid starts at $20 and then whoever wins it, right? That would be pretty cool. I do need to look into like the legalities of that and whatnot. But I see a lot of people do it. Also, yeah, I'm just going to have a bunch of geckos that I'm going to be putting away. So this one is 224. And I do need to take better photos of all of these guys, but if anyone's interested, I did take some photos of these guys like today for somebody that was looking for some geckos. Yeah, sorry if we are experiencing some lagging issues. Let me see something real quick. Let me make sure I'm on Wi-Fi. Yes, I am on Wi-Fi. So hopefully, maybe it's just the time of day or something like that in my area. This is 225. Oops. She fell into the bedding. We have a giant bucket of bedding down here. Or he. Sorry, I should say he. That was a he. So we are releasing some. I thought I was going to keep them all, but we actually have a lot. And so we are going to be releasing some of our 50% Black Knight, 25% Afghanicus, 25% Turkmenicus leopard geckos. And so that's what this boy is. Or girl. Yeah, this is a girl, sorry. 226. And I pulled all of the tubs out so that as I push them back in, I know which ones sold, and then we could just break down those tubs and stuff. So, do geckos shed? Yes, they do need a humid hide. You know, one of our customers was actually showing me the tank today that they set the gecko up in, and it had like a dinosaur humid hide / dry hide because the skeleton of the dinosaur went like 12 inches or something like that. It was really cool. So today I actually tried to place a call to Exoterra and then also communicate with Zoomed because we sell a lot of geckos like in person to people. And instead of selling somebody like one of my starter kits that's just like a plastic tub starter kit, I want to see if we can start stocking like glass tanks and stuff, because that was one of my favorite parts of keeping leopard geckos when I was a kid, was having the little red bulb. And I don't know why red bulbs became controversial all of a sudden out of nowhere. As long as you shut the red bulb off at night, you should be fine. But having like a little red heat bulb and watching the gecko like hunting its food and stuff like that at nighttime. And so I could stock up on those. I could stock up on just cool decorations. Of course, substrate, we like to use like organic peat moss or eco earth or organic soils, and it just makes the tank look really, really nice. That would be so cool to like sell people an entire starter kit that's like dinosaur themed or something like that. So Thanksgiving is upon us. That was another reason I wanted to do the live stream, just to kind of celebrate with you guys. Whiskey Coley, thank you for joining from India. That's pretty awesome. Has your catalog been updated recently? So our website is up to date, with the exception that I need to find out which geckos sold this weekend at the show and take them off the website. And in addition to that, I have about, I don't know, like 70 more leopard geckos that I need to add onto the website this week, which I should be able to do, should be able to start updating the website because there's no more shipping. So shipping is officially closed until December 1st. So that'll give everyone who's a reptile breeder, but including myself, that'll give us time this week to catch up on our inventory and to make those Black Friday sales, as Space Gecko is asking. So I don't have any plans necessarily for a Black Friday thing right now, although maybe I will, because most of my geckos are already priced at like bottom tier pricing, you know, like they're really good geckos for already a really low price. Some of our geckos online are just $39, and they're like really nice geckos, like emerines and white and yellows and stuff like that. But some of our geckos are $200, $300, and for those geckos, maybe I will do a Black Friday sale. You know, we have some Black Knight stuff. You know, if you want Black Knight, Afghanicus, Turkmenicus stuff, those are listed at like $500 right now, but maybe we'll do like a 20% off sale, or even better yet, maybe we'll do like a live auction or something on Black Friday or something like that, you know? So I'm always open to offers. I don't know what kind of sale or deal that I would run this week, but I'm sure I'll do something. And if I don't announce anything, just bring it up to me and throw an offer at me for a gecko that you're looking at. But we have like 3 or 4. We have like a clown, 50% clown, 50% Black Knight male breeders. I think we have 2 of those. And then we have like 2 female, 50% Black Knight, 25% Afghanicus, 25% Turkmenicus geckos, which is pretty cool to diversify the genetics. So Norma's geckos are doing great. If you guys saw the video, I'll do more videos on Norma's geckos as time goes on. I think I did get some Red Diamond and Firebolt stuff from him, but most of what is sticking out to me in my head that I remember is a lot of like Supergiant stuff, Bell stuff, and then Blood. I think he really liked his Blood tangerines, which is cool because we focus on Mandarin and Inferno, and so to incorporate Blood would be great as well. So our website is right down below, Erica. You could go to geekygecko.creations.com, and my cell phone number is there as well if you'd like to contact. All right, so this is 230, which is just a nice hyper. Wow, this one is not only hyperxanthic, but this one is hyperactive. Hyperxanthic Eclipse from the show. Holy cannoli, this one is a jumpers. This one is a jumpers. Some people like that, though. I had a young gentleman at the show. He was like, give me the most active gecko you got. Do you think the Cypher gene is worth the hype? Yes, to a certain degree. I am hopeful for Cypher, but it's not at the point right now where it's anything good yet. I'll be 100% honest with you. Cypher stinks right now. But I'm waiting to invest in it when it becomes good. And here's why. If you've never heard my spiel on why Cypher is going to be good, or why there's a very high likelihood it's going to be good, everybody wants an orange gecko with red eyes, right? Or better yet, a red gecko with red eyes, which is tough to achieve. You know, people edit their photos and make geckos look red, but in reality, very few geckos are really red in person. A lot of people just make them look like that in their photos and then claim that it's red. But nevertheless, the dream is a red gecko with red eyes for everybody, right? For the last 20 years, people want a red gecko with red eyes. The reason that we haven't been able to accomplish that at this time is because the only way to get red eyes, like completely solid red eyes, was the Eclipse gene. And the Eclipse gene removes red color and removes orange color from the gecko. So if you want a red gecko with red eyes and you have to use the Eclipse gene to accomplish that, it's going to make the gecko less red, less orange. And that's why it's very, very difficult and rare to even see a good quality like tangerine Eclipse. I've seen some people that have some lines out there that I believe will start to see some better stuff over the next couple of years. And even ourselves, we produced this year a couple of tangerine Eclipses that were pretty nice. And so we're holding those back to, you know, keep line breeding that to make them more and more orange. But Cypher will, mixed with albino, whether it's Bell or whether it's Tremper, will make the eyes all red. And as far as we can tell right now, this is as far as we can tell right now, Cypher does not dilute the color orange or red. So we should, in theory, be able to get a red gecko with red eyes or an orange gecko with red eyes. That being said, we are far from that right now. I haven't seen anything at this moment that is close to a red gecko with red eyes or an orange gecko with red eyes. So I'm waiting to invest in animals that are close to that point, if that makes sense, because I already have enough space taken up in my operation with other projects. I don't necessarily need to work that project. I'll let other people work that project. And then when it gets to a point where I feel like it's good enough to buy in at, then I'll buy in at that. But as of right now, Cypher is not great. Yeah, so. And then the other thing with Cypher is Black Knight. an all black gecko with all black eyes with a stripe going down the middle of its back. That would be the other direction to go with Cypher, which John from Gecko Boa is starting to go that direction, but again, it's not quite there yet. So I'm just going to wait until it's there, and once it's there, I'll buy in. And in the meantime, I'll just keep saving up my best tangerines and my best black knights, and when the time comes, I'll be able to incorporate my best black knights and my best tangerines into Cypher when I see something that is like worth getting into, you know. This one, 228. I'm pretty sure someone bought this online, but anyway, this is 228. Did you get any shrimper albinos? Yes, Norman did. Norman did have a lot of shrimper albinos. I'm cleaning the poo from the display cases right now. Okay, and then I'm also adding, a lot of people ask us, what is the bedding that you use in your display cases? This is called Alpha Dry from a company called Shepherd Specialty Papers, SSP. You could go to their website. You have to get in contact with their district representative. You can't order straight off their website. You actually have to call the representative in your region, west, east, north, south. They'll find you a representative, and then it's $70 per bag shipped to you. And one bag, though, is very compressed, and it does space out a lot. Like for $70, you know, we have a lot of displays. We have 16 display cases that take up a lot of substrate, and one bag, like 3/4 of a bag, will fill up all 16 display cases. So it does spread a long way. All right, we're going to put this display over here for now. Yeah, holiday season, guys. I mean, Christmas is right around the corner. Can you show some females you're going to be adding in price? Sure, like as we go about it, definitely, you know. What's up, Frank? Hope you and the critters are doing good. Thank you, Amy. We are. That looks like my leopard gecko. It's skipping. It's back on. Also, if you mix Enigma with bells, you get red, orangey eyes. Yes, you can do that, but again, there is the issue with Enigma and mental, like neurological issues. Josh McFarland, saw them there at the show. If you guys want to plug your company again, I'm trying to remember the name of the company. I'm sorry, but they're good people out here in Arizona, and we constantly see them at all the different events out here now. You know, we do the CMB Breeder Showcase, Tucson show, Phoenix show, and then also the California shows, which I think they are a part of now as well. Well, thanks, Alyssa. She loves you back. A lot of ciphers look like normals or have slight reverse stripe. I can't wait to see what it develops into. Yeah, the biggest thing with cipher right now is people just haven't worked color into it yet. Or pattern, really, for that sense. I want to see what like a jungle white and yellow tangerine cipher looks like, right? Like once we start going down those routes, I'm very, very hopeful for the outcome of those routes, but we're just not there yet. So I'm just waiting. You know, here's the thing. Let me give you guys a little secret. if you buy into a leopard gecko project early, before the project is at fruition, you're going to spend a lot of money on an experiment. You don't know which direction to go. You don't know if it's going to be good going this way, good going that way, and you're going to spend a lot of time, money, resources trying to figure that out. If you're not that passionate about it yet, work your other projects, make money with those other projects, and wait until somebody discovers the secret sauce for Cypher. And once the secret sauce for Cypher is discovered, which is some of the routes that we're talking about here, and somebody else has put the time, money, resources into it, then you can buy in, or better yet, you could wait till the next year and buy in at a lower cost. For example, 5 years ago, Black Knights were $2,000-$3,000. Now they're literally $500 to $1,000 sometimes if you find the right deal. So if you just wait long enough, you can buy in at a time when it fits into your budget. And also, if we happen to have it, we do offer payment plans through Shopify, which allows you to purchase, get the animal now, but pay it off across time. So you could pay it off monthly in 2 months, 6 months, or even 12 months if you want, but you can still get your animal now, and you just pay it off monthly, like $50 to $100 a month, depending on what type of structure you do. So we do offer that payment structure through our website, Shopify. Yeah, gobble gobble. Thanksgiving's coming. Yeah, Bam Bam, if you could get in the Phoenix show, that would be great. 15 geckos. I am only 12. You're 12 years old and you have 15 geckos. Can you give me some advice on breeding and taking care of them? The advice I give you, you're not going to like. Angle Evan. I know firsthand how quickly somebody can get overwhelmed with geckos. And being only 12 years old, I'm not sure what kind of support you have, but here's something you want to consider. You're going to need a lot of rack space. If you have 12 geckos, and let's just say 10 of them are females, those 10 females can potentially have 100 to 200 babies. So you have to ask yourself, do I want to breed every single female? And my suggestion to you would be not to breed every female. Just pick certain females that you want to breed and take it slow, because you don't want to get overwhelmed with not having space, food, or time to take care of your animals, or ability to sell them. Leopard geckos are not the easiest. Well, I shouldn't say they're not the easiest animal to sell for newer breeders. They're one of the most popular reptiles in the entire world, but they're not that easy to sell for newer breeders because of how popular they are. There's so many other people that are breeding them that have been around for a long time, that have good traction, good word of mouth, good social media exposure, that has money to actually put into marketing, shows, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people find it very difficult to actually sell their animals. It's the most difficult part of any reptile business, not just leopard geckos, any reptile business, the most difficult part, selling the animals. I love these. This is just a good Afghanicus bold, AFBO, as we call them. This is a 219. Oh, here's that 50% clown, 50% black knight male. If you breed this guy to a pure black knight girl, you're going to get some fire babies. And he's only $500. But maybe we'll go on sale for Black Friday. But see, that's already a low price for a male breeder black knight, right? Even though he's only 50%, I guarantee you guys, if you breed him to a pure female or even a dark female, you're going to get some amazing stuff. 206. There's 210. Nothing crazy, nothing too special, but a beautiful gecko nonetheless. Mandarin Clown. You guys know my feeling on Clown. Most of you probably heard my spiel on Clown by now. This is 368. It's a low orange tangerine, Mandarin Inferno. Not too orange. It's 368. Wait, is it 68? Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot we have more tubs off to the side that we pulled here. 368. Gotcha. All right, I need clips. Let's see what questions we got. Thank you for the advice. I am working with Trep Albanos, Clouds, Tangerines. Yeah, Angle, if you have, here's a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need a refrigerator to put mealworms in, because the most cost-effective way as you're scaling a business is you have to buy your mealworms in bulk from rainbowmealworms.net. Buy them in bulk. Put them in the refrigerator. There'll be pennies on the dollar, fractions of a penny on the dollar if you go about it that way. So you kind of have to do that. You're also going to need expensive racking systems. So if Santa is planning on visiting your home this Christmas, you might want to look into sea serpents racking systems for baby leopard geckos, which would be 6-quart tubs, and adult leopard geckos, which would be 10-quart tubs. You'll want a racking system. If you could accomplish both of those, if you could get a refrigerator for mealworms and you could get racking systems for the geckos, then you're well on your way. The next step after that would be starting a Morph Market account, which you can't do until you're 18. So you'll probably have to get your parents to sell your animals through Morph Market for you. And then you'll also need your parents to book shows for you. So I don't know where you're from, but you need to find out what are your local reptile expos and try to book those and vend those. Then you want to advertise on Craigslist. OfferUp doesn't let you sell animals, but Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook groups in your area. For example, I'm in Arizona, and there's 15 different Facebook groups that focus on reptiles. Find the Facebook groups in your area that focus on reptiles and start connecting with those people. Also, go to different pet shops and reptile shops in your area and tell them that you're a leopard gecko breeder and you would like to provide them with leopard geckos. Those are different advice that should help you. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. I'll let her know you said that. Or him. Alyssa says you're beautiful, 368. All right, got to scoop a little more poo out of here. And now let's refill with some. Oh, I missed a poo in this one. I missed the big poo-poo. All right, I just got that. Our ball pythons are coming along really good, though. I'm really excited for our puzzle stuff. I'm going to be posting some more stuff over the next couple of days and whatnot, but the puzzle is off and popping. Why does everyone get mad at him for holding his geckos by the tail? People are just a little bit sensitive to that, and I get it. I get it. I try to be a little bit more careful nowadays with what I say, how I do things, because you don't want to like push people away unnecessarily. At the same time, you know, you also don't want to like live life in fear of being judged or whatever. So you kind of have to be you, but you do have to understand when you run a business that being you kind of goes out the window a little bit, unless you are in a business that makes money off of drama. And that is not the business that we are in. So you have to know the business that you're in. The leopard gecko business is mainly a business of fun. It's a fun business. It's a little bit more of a pet business and a collector or hobbyist business. The ball python business is a little bit more of a investor business. People are looking to invest in ball pythons like stock market to get rich. Same with crested geckos. People try to invest in crested geckos to get rich because there are crested geckos that sell for $50,000 right now. That's not going to last very long, but for now, there are. So, whenever you have animals that sell for very high amounts, there are going to be people that look at it from an investing standpoint. Then there are animals that are just pure passion species that you almost lose money on if you try to breed them. And not for everybody, but I'm saying the more rare stuff is what that is. You know, like monitor lizards, like emerald tree boas, sailfin dragons, things that are a little bit more rare, that require more space, more upkeep, more time, more money. Those are a little bit more passion projects where it's a roll of the dice. Like, you're either going to lose a bunch of money or you're going to gain a bunch of money if you wind up being successful at it. But take like chondros. I always watch MJ from Trap Talk. Take chondros, for example. He's always bringing guests on that talk about, yeah, they captive born chondros sell for $2,000 to $10,000, but the amount of babies and the difficulty that it is to breed them is crazy, crazy high. So you might spend $20,000 on a chondro collection, and you might get 0 babies across 10 years of your investment, and then maybe way down the line, maybe you finally figure it out and you get things working and it pays off. But it's not a very quick investment. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to know the business that you're in. And the business that we're in the world of leopard geckos, is mainly a pet business, a fun business. And so because of that, you do want to keep in mind what is valuable to pet keepers. You know, UVB is valuable to pet keepers. You know what I mean? I don't care what people say, though. Loose substrate is great for leopard geckos as long as it is like eco earth or like peat moss kind of thing. They'll do fantastic on that because it absorbs smell. It's a nice cushiony substance for them to lie on. It gives them the ability to dig, which they love to dig. And I do prefer a heat bulb, like heat coming down from the top of the cage rather than coming up from the bottom. So I usually encourage first-time pet buyers in that way. So anyway, yeah, know your business. And I wish I had taken that advice a little earlier on, but some things you learn the hard way, right? I was very public with like my opinions and the way that I talked about things in the very early stages of me being on YouTube and stuff like that. And that caught the attention of two different crowds. A crowd that really loved that. And so I still try to cater to that crowd to a certain degree, but just not like as much as I was before. And then a crowd that really hated that didn't like the fact that I was saying things and talking about things pretty openly, you know what I mean? And although I thought that was a good thing because I wanted to be vulnerable and I wanted to show people the good, the bad, and the ugly of breeding reptiles, people get really mad about the ugly, right? People don't want to talk about the ugly, and so when you start talking about the ugly, it happens to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And I get that as well. I get why that would, in retrospect, like taking like pulling myself out of my body and looking at that. But, you know, you live, you learn, you move forward. You know what I mean? We're doing great now. We're in a great position now. And I sort of like to encourage people, you know, that we're not in the business of drama. The reptile world is not in the business of drama, which is why the most successful creators don't feed into the drama. Look at Jay from Prehistoric Pets. Look at Brian Barczyk from the Reptarium. Look at Chandler's Wildlife. He fed into the drama a little bit. Sometimes you do get caught off guard, and then you wind up giving into the drama a little bit. But Camp Kennan, Snake Discovery, all of these big name people, they don't have time to focus on drama. They just do their thing. They focus on their content, their creation. Maybe they learn things along the way, kind of like what I'm talking about right now, of like what works for them and the light that they want to be viewed in. But that's it, you know? If we were on CNN or Fox News or something like that, those guys make money off drama. They make money off of saying controversial stuff and bringing controversial people on. The most recent person that I really realized this with was Piers Morgan. You guys know who Piers Morgan is? Like the British, the BBC British like podcaster or whatever. He will just bring on the most opposite-ended people just to literally create the most amount of drama that he can in an episode, and he makes money off that. That's how he makes money. But in the reptile world, we make money off selling animals, which is usually in conflict with drama. The more drama you bring, the more dramatic you are, the less animals you're going to sell, in a way. And so you kind of have to bite your tongue, you know what I mean, and just focus on the animals, and you'll be good. Well, I shouldn't say you'll be good. It's still a lot of work. Like, you still got to hustle and grind and sleepless nights and learning, website development, content creation, tax and lawyer stuff. You know what I mean? There's still a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. But, ooh, we got some nice ones here, guys. We got some super nice ones. All right, so first and foremost, this is probably our darker. You can see just a little bit of more of a grayish shading to him. 50% clown, 50% black knight, male. 242. There was this sweet lady at the show that was like, "Oh, I love this gecko. It has my birthday." And she was thinking of getting it, but she wound up not getting it. But this was the gecko that had her birthday. Inferno, 50% Inferno, 50% clown. 243. This is one of my favorites. Mandarin Inferno Tremper Albino. It's just got really good, like, vivid colors, as well as the white, the high white, that kind of red diamond look. I really like that. So that's $244. I can't find 244. Where are you, 244? Oh, here we go. All right, here's another beauty. 251. Mandarin Inferno white and yellow. 251. This is 366. It's a little bold emerine. Possible white and yellow. 366. Congratulations, Chris. You got over your fear of snakes by holding your neighbors. There you go. That's the way to do it. Did you call me recently, Alyssa, or was that someone else? I know I was just looking today and there was a voicemail that I forgot to listen to, and I'm not sure if it was from you or for someone else. There's 250, which is a pretty nice emerine, white and yellow. You can see a lot of those like kind of green coloration in there, white and yellow. 250. All right, I got a clean poop. You guys love the holidays? Let me know in a comment here. What, and if so, what is your favorite holiday? I used to be a super big like rom-com or just like romance holiday guy, especially before I got married. You know, I feel like I've always been a little bit of a romantic at heart. So like the holidays just warm my heart with that like lovey, feel good kind of feelings, you know? I think Whitney is back from Zumba. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. I'll see if I can listen to that tonight. Yeah, I hear Whitney putting out the trash. She's so good. She completely took over like the man's roles and stuff. for me because I do so much Gecko work. So she'll like do the dishes every single night. She'll put out the trash, bring them in. I have to do bulk trash, which is a lot of stuff. But yeah, she's really good at like household stuff that really helps me so that I can just literally just focus on like the reptiles. Halloween is your favorite. It used to be Christmas when you were a kid. Christian, what's going on? I got some nice geckos here. This is just a Afghanicus Bold 231. Mandarin Inferno, white and yellow. 362. I do love me some tangerine white and yellows. And this is only generation 1. So when you breed this to a pure tangerine, you're going to get some amazing white and yellow tangerine babies. I don't know where my phone charger is. I'm probably going to have to grab that in a second. Just Inferno and Marine. You can see like the greens and oranges. 246. Where are you to? Oh, here we go. Afghanicus Bold 238. I love the Afghanicus Bolds. One of my favorite projects. Creates some really interesting head pattern. Just good contrast between the yellows and blacks. That's 238. This one is stunning, guys. So this is a Mandarin Inferno Bold and Marine, and you could just see tons of contrast on this guy. I don't believe this guy to be white and yellow, so I think this is just an exceptional colored animal, you know? 239. Oh, that's just Inferno. That's just not Mandarin. That's just Inferno Bold and Marine. This one's Mandarin Inferno, Tremper Albino, probable white and yellow. It definitely looks white and yellow to me. So this one's pretty cool. 254. All right, we're going to Scoopy some poopies. What are the size on the red containers? Those are 3-quart containers. And they're used for like babies or juveniles for us. And they work really well. The animals, they have the same footprint as like a 6-quart tub, maybe even wider than a 6-quart tub. They're just not super high because babies and juveniles, you know, if they're in a rack system, they don't necessarily need that. They're just going on, they're just living in there temporarily until they get sold, which is usually a couple months later to a few months later, and then they're on to their new home. So I noticed the 3 quarts really helps the geckos feel comfortable, grow quickly. Works really well, in my opinion. Your cabinet full of tasty lizards. You must be from a different part of the world. But yeah, some people do eat lizards around the world. Some people do eat lizards. All right, so this is ready for some more bedding. Thank you, Nenben. Got to see Robin from Redline Shipping at the Phoenix show. That's always a good time. Robin is good people. All right, this display is done. This display is done. And we are about 40% done for the night with this. Let me grab my phone charger real quick. Hi, baby. All right, we're going to do a little bit more. I want to get at least 50% done with this, and then I'll probably go hang out with my wife, watch a movie or something like that, and then finish off the night later. And we are charging. Oh, I saw that. I saw that lag. All right, one more. Oh, man, there's some ultra beauties in here. Check this out. No pun intended, ultra beauty. All right, we got a fasciolatus snow that has a little bit of an underbite. So this is the Mr. Freeze project, but it has a little bit of an underbite, so it's just $50 as a pet. Fasciolatus snow. Actually, I don't even know if this one is snow. You know, earlier in the season, I didn't mark the snows that hatched out of the egg, and you really have to mark the snows as soon as they hatch out of the egg. Otherwise, you might be left like this, wondering if it is a snow or not later on in life. And if I had to guess, I'm guessing that this one actually is not a snow, because the actual snow ones are much more like lavender and lighter in coloration, and this guy's a little bit darker. So what that would make this guy is basically just a fasciolatus with an underbite, sold as a pet for $50. Slight underbite, not even a very bad underbite, but $3.53. All right, this one's pretty nice. Check him out. Mandarin Inferno. Mandarin Inferno, I have him listed as Extreme Jungle, because if you were to look at him, he would have very nice, like, whites, emerines, and greens. He's pretty cool. Just $350 for him. But he is... Oh, so I was like, what are the odds of this? I priced him, and then I looked at his ID, and it was the same as his price. So, price, $350. ID, $350. There's a really nice reddish orange one coming up here in a second. This one's pretty cool too. Inferno Bold. Just got some decent contrast to her, like with some nice color. Decent contrast, nice color, a little bit spunky. So if you want one that's a little bit on the spunkier side, I would say this girl is your gal. She is $341. All right, the reddish orange one is next. And then we have a very nice fasciolatus snow on the end. Mr. Freeze animal. I'll say pretty nice. Not the best we have, but some of the best we're selling right now. The best, of course, I keep. So here's a very nice, just Charmander, Mandarin Inferno. $350 for this one as well. And its ID is $344. I did not like our fasciolatus clown results this year, so I'll show you. So here's a 50% fasciolatus, 50% clown. Basically makes a normal looking gecko. Now I might be able to play with this as time goes on and maybe accentuate some of those purples and stuff, but it's not passionate enough for me, and so I'm just selling these out at like pet prices, so like $75. ID $271. And here is the fasciolatus mat. Oh, this is fasciolatus. So this is for sure Max Snow, but this is fasciolatus. 25. This is 25% fasciolatus, and then 75% macularis, and it is 100% a Max Snow because it came from a Super Snow mom. So this will hold really nice lavenders and light tones all the way into adulthood. Number 274. All right, let's poopy scoop. Poopy scoopy time. Is that Derpy? No, Derpy's actually doing really well and growing really well. Tatum had Derpy out the other day. Sometimes they get a little poop on the side of the glass, and it just needs a little cleaning. All right, that should be good. We're going to add more Alpha Dry. You and your wife should watch True Blood. It's an awesome show in Prime. We do have Prime. Is that like a vampire show or something like that? Or it's like a crime show, right? Yeah, that last gecko was really cool. Or whichever one you're talking about, the last couple of geckos were really cool. Yeah, 344 is pretty great. What's up, Code Red? Yeah, and like I said, you could also purchase these geckos. You know, if it helps, you can purchase these geckos on a Shopify payment plan where off our website you could pay it off across time, but still get your gecko now. Oh, there's one more. Hold on, there's one more tray or row of geckos I need to clean before I go. And this one has some decent ones. And there's actually a nice-ish Clown Inferno here that I'm happy with, even though you guys know I'm not too crazy about the clown stuff. Afghanicus. This one's just an Afghan Bold going into shed, so it's tough to see. 272. Here's a Mandarin Inferno Clown. So Mandarin Inferno Clown. The only thing that bugs me about Clown is that the colors fade dramatically from when people sell them at like 2 months old. You know, and they have like all of those purples and very vivid greens. And a lot of people think that the animal is going to stay that way. And that's the only thing that bugs me about Clown. Literally, the only thing. Because most leopard geckos look the way they look, and they stay that way. So, like tangerines, once they hit a certain point, they stay that way. Like 3 months old. Once a tangerine is like 3-4 months old, that's the way it's going to look. Once a white and yellow, or just a normal yellow, or like a fasciolatus snow, once it hits that 3 to 4 month mark, that's the way it's going to look the rest of its life. But a clown at 3 to 4 months is going to look 10 times worse in another 7 to 8 months. And that's the thing that really gets me. And then people sell them for like high dollar when they just look like normals when they become adults for the most part. So anyway, this one is at that like 5 to 6 month old mark. So it's still at a point in its life where it's looking decent, you know. But I would imagine that its colors are gonna fade pretty significantly over the next few months, like all clowns do. But for now, he looks pretty cool. I like the contrast of the blacks and the purples and the like orangey lime, yellow, green, you know. So 273. I have people that come up to me all the time and they ask me, like, what's the difference between a clown and a normal? And I just kind of secretly laugh inside because I'm like, I get it. I get where the confusion is coming in. Now, that's not every clown. Some clowns do hold some pretty decent look into adulthood. But again, for me, what it's all about is how it looks when it's originally sold at 3 months old, and then how it looks at 13 months old are two completely different things, you know? Completely different. So This one is actually pretty nice. It's just got some nice contrast to it, some like highlighting of the pattern and stuff like that. This is 276. Here is another Black Knight Afghanicus Turkmenicus. This one's pretty decent. It's pretty heavily spotted, which is a good sign for Black Knight. So 50% Black Knight, 25% Afghanicus, 25% Turkmenicus. And she is acting a little spunky. She's behaving a little spunkily. But maybe she just got spooked a little, kind of pulling her out of the display case. You know, but some leopard geckos are just a little more spunky. I don't know how else to put it. Some of them just have more spunky demeanor to them. Holy cannoli. This one is super spunky. All right, she is 278. 50% Black Knight, 25 Afghan, 25 Turk. 278. This one's pretty cool. 279. Mandarin Inferno. If you look really closely, you can see it has like lots of just different colors popping. Got some purplish, greenish, yellowish, orangish. Just got some nice stuff on this one. So this one's 279. And last but not least is another Fasciolatus Max Snow. This is 50% Fasciolatus, 50% Macularis, and it is 100% Max Snow. Ooh. So it just has those lavender colors that will carry on well into adulthood. It's not the best or lightest or most lavender representation of what we produce. Again, I keep those and I post pictures of them on Morph Market. I mean on Instagram to taunt you guys a little bit. But the only reason I post those is so that people can know what direction the project is heading in and what to expect. So this is 280. Now I just have to be on poop duty real quick. What's up, brother? How you doing? Timothy Fussell. Do you like sport documentaries? Sometimes, like, I love watching like Mike Tyson documentaries. I watch the what is it? The Johnny Football documentary. I watched the fighter, who's the Irish UFC fighter guy that's really popular. So yes, I do. I will typically watch sports documentaries if I know who the athlete was. Michael Jordan. So like I watch Michael Jordan documentaries, Shaquille O'Neal documentaries. What else have I seen? Yeah. So I would say I am into sports docs. The vampires. Yeah, we probably would like it. Actually, I think my dad told me he was watching that, and me and my wife were like, wait, what? You're watching a teenage vampire show? But yeah, he said it was good. All right, now I just need to fill up more bedding here. I just bought a gorgeous male leopard gecko, Mandarin Inferno, crosshead Tremper. Oh, very cool. I believe it. Mandarin Inferno is a great combo. One of the reasons why I work it. That Mandarin carries a lot of like orangey red tones, deep orange tones. The Inferno carries a lot of bright orange tones and green tones. And then with Norman Davis's collection, we will also be incorporating blood, which in a way to me is sort of like it kind of looks like a mix between Mandarin and Inferno naturally. So I think it'll go pretty good. Okay. I just bought 5 awesome Jokers from Matt. Yeah, the Joker, basically an extension of the clown. Again, you're going to experience that color change look, but some people are okay with that. And then at the end of the day, they're still good animals that have like value in projects. I just really don't like how they're marketed for so much money up front at like 2 to 3 months old, and then they just look really different. When like everything else in leopard geckos kind of like in ball pythons, that's accepted, but in leopard geckos, like we really care about how the gecko looks into adulthood, because there's really not much geckos that change necessarily after a certain point. So like tangerines, after a certain point, they just stay that way. White and yellows stay that way. Snows, a regular snow is like, by the time it hits 5 to 6 months old, it's already taking on a lot of yellow color. So that's another one that's deceiving. People buy snows when they're babies, and then it's pure black and white. And then as the animal ages, it gets yellow, and they don't understand why, right? But that's why I'm doing the fasciolatus snow project, because the fasciolatus keeps it looking snow. It keeps it looking lavender. But, you know, congratulations on your purchase with Matt. I mean, he's definitely, if you're going to buy Jokers, he's the guy to get them from. And they do have good qualities of like emerine characteristics, some tangerine in there, jungle pattern. So they're definitely very valuable to projects and to work. But when I think of leopard geckos, I like to consider how it looks at the 1 year mark, you know, and kind of figure out pricing based on that, versus taking a picture of an animal at like 2 months old that's going to go through a whole bunch of changes and pricing it based on the way that it looks at 2 months old instead of the way that it's going to look at 12 months old. You know, that's my only qualm with that. So what's your take on mixing tangerines? Mix them all. Mix all the tangerines you can. I'm all about that. The more that you inbreed tangerines, though, like, and the more that you, like, not for long periods of time, but I do think that you get more intense colors. Yeah, Conor McGregor, that was the documentary. Which is why, like, people in Asia, or even in like some Canadian breeders that I've seen, that what I think they're doing to get the better colors is inbreeding. And I'm not saying that inbreeding is something that you can't do, but you probably shouldn't go too far with inbreeding, or you're going to see a lot of issues. But sometimes what people do is, if you're breeding a lot of like brother to sister, dad to daughter kind of thing, those colors are going to intensify very, very much from generation to generation very quickly. The con to that is that you're also going to see some side effects in some of the offspring. Not all of the offspring, but some of the offspring might be stunted, they might be runted, which is essentially what happened with Black Knight, right? When Black Knight was being created, it was just a whole lot of very, very closely related animals that were bred to each other consistently for many, many years in a row, which led us to the fertility issues and stuff that we have today. But we wouldn't have gotten there without it. And so to some extent, inbreeding is like a necessary evil in a way for some projects. You look at like the Red Devil project and other projects that are very, very saturated colored animals. They're very closely related, because you're stacking years and years of genetics of family members' genetics on top of each other to get those colors. And for the most part, people are okay with that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just sort of I guess, acceptable, to a certain extent. You obviously don't want to go too far with it. And reptiles do handle inbreeding a lot better than like mammals or other types of animals. But you just need to be careful, like how far you go with it and how much you inbreed. Otherwise, you're going to see a higher propensity for issues occurring, like birth defects and stuff like that, Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. How do I purchase 344? Shoot me a text message right down here, and I can figure that out with you. Put it on hold or whatever you're looking to do for 344, because I haven't listed 344 on the website yet. So, will you have Supergiant soon? Not soon. Watch Best Kids in Texas. It's a paintball document. Is that on Netflix or something? Yeah, poop cleanup is never ending. The blood diamonds. The favorite leopard gecko that I have, I can't really get to my leopard geckos right now because there's a lot of stuff in the hallway, like over here, that's from the show, that's kind of blocking that area. But next live stream, I will show. I would probably say my top 3 are going to be a good quality Black Knight, a good quality Tangerine, and a good quality white and yellow Tangerine. Those are probably my top 3. And like I can show you some of that stuff like in the next live stream, 15 on YouTube is another good paintball document. I plan to work with Tangerines for a bit, but will attempt to create a new morph. My goal for the future is to make new morphs and introduce new colors. Yeah, I mean, that's a great passion, continue pursuing that. That's one thing that clowns or jokers are good for, is like that green color. And now it's just about like getting that green color to last into adulthood, which honestly, I think one of the keys for that is going to be other lines of Tangerine, like Mandarin, Inferno, Blood Emerine, other lines of Tangerine that have that green color, because I've explained this a little bit, but I'm going to touch on this one more time. So if you have a yellow baby with black bands, those black bands are going to turn purple within a couple of weeks. And then a couple more weeks after that, there's a good chance that if it comes from like a marine background or something like that, for a yellow gecko, let me rephrase. What I'm thinking of is more the tangerines that are mixed with yellow, which is what a clown is. That's what a joker is. The jokers are like a little bit different, but clown is bold. I actually have a video on like what makes a clown, and I forget all the ingredients that went into it, but there's tangerine, there's bold. I think there was some giant stuff in there. Different lines of tangerine he used, but he also used, I think it was bolds or bold stripes or bandits or something like that for the black pattern and coloration, because when you take the black and put it into a tangerine gecko, it turns purple, then it turns green. But then into adulthood, the issue with why clowns fade out is that green then just blends into the natural color of the animal, which sometimes could be like a yellow-ish color, or sometimes could be an orange-ish color. So his goal with the Joker project is to make those greens last longer and longer into adulthood, which is where he infused Black Knight, and Firebolt genetics to see if he can help make that happen. You know, but I think the animals that show like the longest lasting green that I can see is either the white and yellow emerines or the tangerines that naturally, the tangerine emerines that carry those greens very strongly. It's tough to get like yellowish animals like such as clown. That's why the greens kind of fade into yellow, is because it's there's less tangerine DNA in there. The less tangerine DNA that it has, the more yellow the animal is going to look as it ages. But the more tangerine genetics it has, the higher chance that I think you're going to stand for producing like those green colors that last. So you could kind of see this in, if you were to look at the urban gecko, he has a line, I think it's called like the Green Goblin or something like that. And it's basically like one of his tangerine bloodlines where the green lasts like all the way into adulthood. Now, I do think some of those photos might be misrepresentative. Like they might be a little bit better looking in the photos than in real life. But after looking at green animals in our collection and like studying the green color, to me, I think green lasts the longest in a tangerine animal. The more tangerine genetics that an animal has, the more that those greens are going to last into adulthood and not turn yellow. Like what happens with clowns is they turn yellow because a clown is not a pure tangerine. A clown is basically a tangerine cross, right? I want to die owning the most green gecko. You should make a tangerine mix with super snow. Yeah, they have those. Those are pretty cool. I do like that. Blue leopard geckos would be, I don't want to say impossible because nothing is impossible, but we just don't really have that color palette. So every species of reptile has a certain color palette that you can work with. And right now, blue has not been cracked yet. Alyssa, I did get your text. I think Bubba is probably the closest to keeping the green color on his geckos. I would agree he's pretty good, and he uses a lot of Inferno, which is a tangerine line, and mixes that with clown because, again, Inferno has a lot of green. So Inferno naturally has a lot of green coloration in it, and clown is an attempt to have green color. And so one of the things that Bubba does really well is he mixes his best clowns with his best Infernos and creates some really nice stuff. Again, you have to see a gecko in person. You have to, because seeing a gecko in a photograph or seeing a gecko at 2 months old is not nearly a representation of what it's going to look like in person or what it's going to look like at 12 months old. So that's the one caveat, is you can't really judge things by a photo online because, of course, people are going to throw their best photos of an animal online, and it could just be a really good angle that they take and stuff like that, you know? So that's just one thing that you have to consider. But if you have a blue morph, you could call it Ocean or Sapphire. That would be super cool. Honestly, I think the closest we're going to get to like blue is the fasciolatus snows, which create these like lavender geckos, and some of these geckos really have more lavender than others, and more pink coloration, and because there's fasciolatus and snow, you could really see the blue that shines through their eyes on the top of their head. And so I think that's the best bet as far as pursuing a blue line, or like if you want to call something an ocean line or a sapphire line, it's got to come from something to do with snow, and particularly most likely fasciolatus snow that has been selectively bred and line bred for more lighter coloration, lavender coloration, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I will try to do more live streams this week if I can. If I don't, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you get to enjoy time with friends, family, food, geckos. Keep an eye out for our Black Friday sale. It'll probably be a sale on our more expensive animals, but we already have a lot of lower priced animals that are on the website. And yeah, I got a lot of video content that I need to edit. So now that we have more help around here, more workers around here, that'll start to free me up over the next month or so for more content creation, getting more animals up on the website because we have like another 70 animals. And yeah, my phone number is right here. If you guys have anything, questions, concerns, just need somebody to talk to, hit me up. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a geeky gecko great day. Peace.